Hi handsome and welcome to my 50-second video. Today I have yet another guide for you, this time for chicken eggs. These have become somewhat of a rare commodity recently in what I can only assume is an effort to replicate real life, so I thought it was a good idea to show you all the possible places where to get them, as well as to document where I get them myself for the purpose of the IronPan challenge, which in case you don't know is my own made up challenge where I attempt to make 1 million of every single meal in the game without buying any of the ingredients from the center market. Eggs are one of the biggest bottlenecks, and if I were to just wait for workers to get them, it would take me roughly 8 years to finish the challenge. Obviously, doing this challenge until my late 30s is not something that I want to do, nor do we know if the game will even exist by that point, so we need to speed things up. So let's get right into it. We are going to go through this in descending order of obscurity, so we will start with the least obscure ways, things that you probably already know, and move our way from there, which means that we are starting with the thing that everybody probably already knows, and that's the workers. I won't spend that much time on it because, again, everybody knows this, so get your free notes that you see on the screen right now, and be happy with roughly 1000 eggs a day from all free notes combined. The second most commonly talked about option to get eggs is something that I'm not actually sure people really do. I believe people just tell you about this, but nobody actually does this as far as I know, and it's farming for them. Now, if you don't use your fences for anything else and you have the spare contribution, or you just bought the fences from the pearl shop, I suppose you can use them to get eggs, but you only get between 10 to 30 of them per coop, and each coop takes up 3 slots in a fence, which means that if you have 10 10-slot fences, you will only get roughly 600 eggs per harvest, and that harvest will take you over 8 hours of waiting under optimal conditions, so you can get at most 2 harvests per day. So 1200 eggs per day really isn't worth it to me personally, and I don't think that anyone should really be doing this, especially when you have other farm crops that are being ignored, and those farm crops you can't get anywhere else, but eggs you can get way better, way more easily from other options. So in my opinion, skip this one. But again, it's something that a lot of guides especially talk about. I just don't think that this is something that is worth nowadays. Next, we have the bonus cooking quests. Now, this did get buffed recently, and although I haven't done that much cooking since then, it seems to be roughly on the same level as it was before when it comes to the eggs, which is to say roughly 5 to 6,000 eggs an hour, with the caveat that it is now more RNG heavy because they lowered the chance to get the quest to activate. So you can have an hour with no quests and no eggs at all, followed with an hour with 4 to 5 quests back to back that give you like 15,000 eggs combined. But I would say that it probably averages itself out. And if you are lucky, you also get the other 4 main farming crops on top of the eggs, which is obviously a major benefit for someone like me who needs a lot of them. The only problem with this method is that you need to be sitting at your computer and basically actively cook, waiting for the quest to pop, and do them instantly because you cannot have multiple active quests at once. For me, it's not such a big deal since I can just put the game on my second monitor when I'm editing or something, so maybe you can do the same when you're playing another game or watching Netflix or whatever. There is also one more thing which I am not 100% sure about, and that is that some recipes seem to not proc the quest at all, and that there is a minimum cooking level requirement that you need to have for these recipes to even give you the quest in the first place. You are seeing the list on your screen right now, but I would say that the 2 most important recipes that are missing from the list are vinegar and red sauce. Again, I am not 100% certain how true this is. I have done roughly 10,000 crafts myself with no luck, so it is probably true, but if you have done like 50,000 crafts of vinegar with no luck on the quest, then this is most likely why that is, and I would really appreciate if you told me about this in the comments, not necessarily because I want to laugh at your suffering, but just to confirm this. But that's not the only way to get eggs from cooking. We also have the seals from Imperial Delivery, which you can exchange every 50 seals for 100 eggs, which means 400 eggs per day with some seals left over if you have a similar amount of contribution points that I do. Most people will probably choose the other options for the seal rewards. Most likely it's going to be the Supreme Utensils, but for me personally, this is what I basically have to do to min-max all the possible eggs that I can get. With cooking behind us, we are now entering the realm of methods that you probably didn't even know existed, although I will preface this with saying that most of these are really not that great. Except for the first one that I'm gonna be talking about. All of these of course are repeatable quest rewards. The big one is this repeat quest in Bartali Farm, so listen up. You can take this quest every 4 real life hours. Every single in-game morning from exactly 7:05 AM to 7:25 AM in-game time, there is an event that begins with this message, followed by 10 chickens running away. What you then need to do is go behind them and get close to them while crouching, which is your Q key, and wait at a safe distance to get either a fresh egg or a golden egg. After a chicken lays the first egg, she will run away and you need to do the same thing again, and after the second time she does this, she becomes exhausted and becomes capturable, which you do by just going to her and pressing R. Do remember to collect all the eggs that you can get, as every single fresh egg you collect is worth 40 eggs at Emma Bartali, which is the quest giver, and every golden egg is 250 eggs. On top of the 200 eggs you get for the quest reward, which is just handing over the chicken to Emma Bartali. You can hand in one captured chicken and then get another one in case you miss one of the events, and you can also do the event without doing the quest. It's not like the quest actually starts it, the quest just exists there. I average around 1 to 1.2 thousand eggs per event, which is every 4 hours, and I am usually able to do this roughly 2 to 3 times a day, so you can just put an alt at Bartali Farm and swap to it whenever you see the in-game message telling you it's 7 AM, and by the time you swap, the chickens will most likely already be spawned. This is something that I wholeheartedly recommend. It is a little bit of a hassle to remember doing it, especially if you're in the middle of, let's say, AOS right now or grind session or whatever, but it is definitely a nice way to get eggs, and you get surprisingly a lot. From here on out, we are deep in the trenches of obscurity. The amount of eggs you can get from all of these quests that I'm going to be talking about is pretty miserable, but most of these quests are also very easy and very quick to complete, which kind of makes up for it. First, we have all the daily quests to milk cows. You will find these in Fowler's Dirt Farm and Bane Farmland in Calpheon, Stonetail Horse Ranch in Medea, and on the outskirts of Olvia in Balenos. Put together, they should give you 50 eggs per day, which isn't much, but it's honest work. As a side note, there are 2 quests in Olvia that require you to do the milking of cows, so remember to get both of them. As for non-milking quests, there are also a bunch of non-repeatable ones, but I will not mention them as I wouldn't wish the fate of constantly creating new characters in order to get 20 eggs an hour to my worst enemy. As for the repeatable ones, there is one next to Heidel that I would not even consider a quest. The footage probably doesn't even last longer than this sentence. You get 5 eggs for it. And the last 2 quests for eggs are found in Northern Wheat Plantation. First is at the Normal Light and requires you to kill all of these mobs, and you also need to have 150 amity with her to even get it. And the other one is at Lekia, which requires you to kill 2 boars and also requires you to have 100 amity to be able to start the quest. Both give you 3 eggs each, so that's 6 eggs per day extra. And with the quests out of the way, we have officially hit rock bottom. You might think that the video is over, but I have one special, and I mean very special activity to get eggs. Fishing. Yes, you heard that correctly. You can fish for eggs. Is it a good idea? Absolutely not. Should I tell you where it is? Probably not, so you don't hurt yourself. but I might as well tell you where to go since I already started talking about it and you know where to never go. You will find this special spot in Duvenkroon next to the regular fishing spot that you might already know if you're fishing for the events. All you need to do is go up these stairs to get to the hot spring that gives you energy recovery. Then you go to this spot with the message pop up and start fishing. If the existential dread hasn't hit you yet, I should also tell you that the only fish you can get from here is the green great sandeel, and that you will also fill your inventory with these letters teaching you some random furniture nobody really cares about in the year of our Lord 2025. And if all of that is not bad enough, the chance to get a single egg is 0.1% according to BDolytics, and in the 2 days that I have spent here, or rather 2 nights, I wasn't able to catch a single one. You do get the boiled bird eggs here too, which you can use to make serendia meal, but I think I only got like 10 of them as well, so the only reason someone would go here is to either make a video guide about it or just for the memes. But in any other situation, absolutely do not go to this spot. I am really sorry for spreading this cursed knowledge onto you, handsome, but I couldn't bear it alone any longer. That's all, and I do mean all of the ways you can get eggs in this game. Remember to like and subscribe, and enjoy your grind.